Hi, welcome to the Crypto Republic. Before we begin today, if you're serious about staying ahead in this once-in-a-lifetime financial shift, make sure you like this video, drop a comment, and subscribe to the Crypto Republic. Hello, XRP Army, and welcome back to the Crypto Republic, your go-to channel for the latest high-energy updates in digital assets. Before we get started with today's business, make sure to smash that like button, ring that bell, and subscribe to Crypto Republic, bringing you updates every day at 9 a.m., noon, and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, with that understood, let's get into the data for today. For the next few minutes, I want to show you a series of data points that suggest a significant shift is occurring beneath the surface of the markets, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to look at institutional capital flows and infrastructural developments that are not getting the attention they deserve. This isn't about hype or speculation, ladies and gentlemen. It's about following the data. Welcome back. And on this channel, our goal is to analyze market data to understand potential trends before they become mainstream narratives. Today, we're looking at a fascinating case study in institutional interest through the lens of exchange-traded funds, or ETFs. Typically, a new ETF launch is a slow process, ladies and gentlemen. It can take weeks or even months to build significant trading volume. However, a recent Bitwise XRP-linked ETF showed a highly unusual pattern, surpassing 1 million shares traded in a single day, shortly after launch. In the world of institutional analysis, ladies and gentlemen, that's considered a significant signal flare. It indicates an immediate and robust appetite, folks. And this isn't an isolated event. When we aggregate the daily trading volumes of several XRP-linked investment products, including those from Grayscale and others, we see a collective volume that has exceeded 50 million shares on certain days. Okay, let me be clear about what this data suggests. Volume can be an indicator of institutional interest. While the retail market is often driven by sentiment, large, sustained volume can point to the positioning of bigger financial desks. The question we have to ask is, what are they seeing and where not? Now let's look at the next layer of data, fund inflows. This tells us if new capital is actively being allocated. The numbers are compelling. For instance, Canary Capital registered over $306 million in inflows in one 7-day period. Bitwise saw $116 million in 2 days. Grayscale added another $5 million in a single session. Let those numbers sink in, folks. This pattern isn't typically characteristic of impulsive retail buying. This appears to be coordinated strategic allocation. These are the types of methodical investments made by funds managing large portfolios. And here's the key data point that contextualizes this. During a recent week, where the broader digital asset market saw a net outflow of nearly $2 billion, these XRP-related products saw a net inflow of $89 million year to date, and that inflow figure is over $2.32 billion. When we see capital moving against the prevailing market trend, it prompts a deeper analysis. This data suggests a potential portfolio rotation may be underway, where capital is moving from other assets into this specific corner of the market, folks. So this leads to the next logical question. Why? What could be the underlying thesis for this institutional interest, you might be asking? This brings us to a development that is crucial to understanding the long-term institutional case, the connection to the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, or DTCC, folks, a prime broker with ties to Ripple, named Hidden Road, recently integrated with the DTCC's netting short system. For those unfamiliar, the DTCC is the foundational plumbing of the legacy financial system. It settles trillions of dollars in securities transactions daily for the world's largest institutions. An integration like this is significant because it builds a potential bridge between the emerging world of digital assets and the core of traditional finance. The inferred message to the institutional world was clear. The ambition is to target the massive multi-trillion-dollar settlement market. This development positions a Ripple-connected entity within that established framework, signaling a focus on utility beyond speculation. This isn't happening in a vacuum. It aligns with two powerful macro themes we're seeing, folks. First, the broader acceptance of digital assets by the financial mainstream. We hear figures like Galaxy Digital CEO discussing Bitcoin's potential role as a gold alternative on major financial news networks. This indicates a maturing of the asset class, ladies and gentlemen. The second theme is the rise of AI. The former president of PayPal has theorized that Bitcoin could become the native currency of an AI-driven economy. Such an economy would require an incredible volume of high-speed transactions. This leads to a compelling theory. If Bitcoin serves as a digital gold or reserve asset, there is a need for a highway, ladies and gentlemen, a neutral, high-speed settlement layer to handle the transactional traffic. The analysis suggests XRP is being positioned to serve that potential role. So how can we use this information in our own research? This is not financial advice, but here is a framework for how an analyst might process this data. First, focus on the data always, not the drama. The most reliable signals often come from institutional flows, not social media sentiment. Second, think structurally. Consider the long-term implications of infrastructural developments like the DTCC integration. Third, prioritize security always. Regardless of the asset, using institutional-grade custodian solutions is a fundamental principle of responsible market participation. And finally, do not make impulsive decisions. This analysis highlights long-term trends and data points. It is not a signal for immediate action. The most prudent approach is to continue your own research and make deliberate, well-considered decisions. To summarize our analysis today, well, the financial system is undergoing a significant evolution. The data we've reviewed, from ETF volumes and institutional inflows to key infrastructural integrations, suggests that XRP is being positioned for a role centered on a utility within the institutional framework. The data suggests a period of silent accumulation may be reaching a mature stage. If these trends of institutional adoption and integration continue, the next logical phase could be a reevaluation of the asset's role and value by the broader market. This is not a guarantee, but a data-driven thesis. Your job is to remain objective, continue your research, and stay on the right side of information. Once again, this content is for informational and entertainment purposes only, and should not be taken as financial advice. Always do your own research and consult a licensed financial advisor before making investment decisions, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, the game is changing, and those who understand it first will benefit most. Make sure you're on the right side of it. You have two choices. You can be like the crowd, reacting after the move, rationalizing why they missed it, telling themselves they'll never let it happen again, or you can be the one who saw behind the curtain, the one who understood the infrastructure shift, the one who positioned early, not randomly, but intentionally. Because some moments in history are loud, but the ones that change everything are quiet, right up until the moment they're not. And this is one of those moments. Do not blink, because the world is distracting you with noise, while XRP continues developing behind the scenes and building momentum in the broader digital asset landscape. Stay sharp, stay informed, accumulate knowledge. Your move now will be remembered. This is not the end of the story. This is just the beginning. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button, ring the bell, and leave a comment with your thoughts. Turn on notifications, and most importantly, subscribe to the Crypto Republic. We break down the major global banking trends shaping digital assets today, giving you context, clarity, and research you can use. Don't just watch history happen. Stay informed, stay ahead, and stay in the Republic.